Hey guys, Connor from Rock Pokemon here. Excited to bring you another Market Monday as I get back in the swing of things from, being back from vacation on the West Coast. So last week, appreciate you guys watching that little ETB opening and just, hearing some of my thoughts on the hobby. So today I thought we'd keep with the theme of opening some things that I really love because we're going to talk about my whys. So on collecting, why I collect, but also why I sell. So we've got some Weiss Schwarz here, Seven Deadly Sins, an anime that I have really enjoyed. Was so stoked for this set to come out. Been opening and enjoying this. Gate Ruler, a TCG I stumbled upon that has just amazing artwork that I've really enjoyed. And then, of course, Pokemon. So picked up this Vivid Voltage pack recently, and then I've got some leftovers from an EV Heroes box. I think these should be good because most of that box was a dud. It was my second, completing my set for my binder box, and there weren't many full arts in what I opened. So all these should have some pretty cool stuff, but I really wanted to talk about, why I collect, something like this, right? Seven Deadly Sins. Like, what does it do for me? Why am I collecting this? Why am I collecting Pokemon? And maybe have you guys think about why you collect. So obviously there's, the main components, the nostalgia, the memories. There's something about, Pokemon especially, but even with watching anime that brings out that creative side, some of that childlike joy. Obviously opening packs like this is like a tremendous chase. Like, it's super fun to see what we're gonna pull. Especially with Pokemon, not knowing what kind of chase card you're gonna get is super exciting. Same for these, right? These Weiss Schwarz cards, like that is a super neat card. Reminds me of the anime, the posters, like the wanted, it's called right there, the wanted posters that they had in the anime. This beautiful holographic card right here of Elizabeth, like how cool is that, right? Like there's just so much, that you can chase in these hobbies and really enjoy collecting. So a lot of it is for that. The other part of it is certainly the community, right? Collecting has become, more and more popular, socially acceptable, and with that has come a larger social media, outlet for folks like myself, and subsequently an amazing community, right? So that's been really exciting to just be able to both grow, my network and community and meet amazing people. And also the experiences those have afforded, the trips I've gotten to take in, the people I've gotten to meet in person. I mean, they're just absolutely, without a doubt, the experiences and the community and the people are why I collect, I think, more than anything. Because the joy of a shared love for these, IPs and these, different hobbies bring us all together and, create a really, unique group of people. Look at that hollow. That's really cool. It's Child Diane. That's really cool. Baby Giant. And then we got a climax rare. Very cool. Very neat. So these are like climactic parts of the anime. You can see the CR down there next to the 50. So, and I think what's important, as I open these packs, is to remember that the joy of the chase should just be that. But don't get caught up in, I think what happens now, especially in this kind of short-term instant gratification world we live in, driven by social media, to be cliche, everyone's just after that next dopamine hit, right? And so because of that, you can get caught just opening packs, simply for that dopamine hit, and you're gonna be left with a bunch of stuff you don't want. So remember, why you collect, that, the stuff can't bring true happiness, but the relationships that you can create are invaluable, and the memories that some of this stuff can invoke are something you can cherish and pass down through the generations. So just remember that. that's really why I collect. It's for, that tie, those memories, remembering growing up, times with my dad, times with my grandma, but also, you know, the community, the relationships today. That's what I truly love. And those are much more meaningful than cards or stuff or whatever. So, when you think about why you collect, it's also, well, how do you progress that collection? And a way I've been able to do that is to be a liquidity provider. So, something for me is I'll be opportunistic. I might, buy, a lot of like 3 cards for $100 and then, sell off 2 of them for eventually $100 and keep one of them and just try to, make my collection free and be that opportunistic, provider of liquidity. And then also build my collection through the trading and the buying and the selling and the community. And so something I wanted to talk about is selling and how we go about selling and being having that be a factor of your collecting journey. That's a wicked cool card. And so I'm always careful, like, not to shill, right? Like, I do make content and I'm never going to be like, all these people I call out where it's like, basically they're telling you something's amazing and then they're going and, selling it to you on their website conveniently. Oh, sick. Look at that. A little 4-star rare. That's dope. Oh, wow. That's really awesome too. So a couple of very cool cards from Gate Ruler. But, I think when it comes to selling, it's an amazing way to continue to progress your collection. Now, it's super hard, right? Because you've got kind of like 3 categories. You've got items that you might buy just to like flip, to generate, leverage basically and create more money for yourself to then go and continue to collect what you love. You have some stuff that might be like store of value, more like what I would call trade fodder or inventory, where it's stuff you like. And for me, it's like things I'm very happy to hold on to for the long term. But it's, they're likes, not loves, that can kind of hold some value in the hobby and be used for trading or selling later, what have you. And then the hardest part is the what you might think of more an investment, something that has some long-term, growth characteristics that, make it really hard to time when you would want to sell it. But for me, I think what always I want to remember is that when I'm selling, part of it is like a consolidation, right? Wow, look at that thing. That is sick. Part of it's like about consolidating your collection, right? So it's really focusing on the things you absolutely love. Collecting is much more than just, buying a bunch of stuff, right? And so I think it's always important to remember that, you want to collect more of what you truly love than just putting a bunch of stuff together, right? And then just being kind of let down by, just having a bunch of items and instead of having like a core group of like things you really love. So I think what I'm trying to say, guys, is that always remember why you collect, and that I think, it isn't just about having a bunch of like possessions, and the being a good seller and progressing the hobby forward can be, integrally important to the progression of the hobby. Like being kind and trustworthy and giving people good deals and helping people achieve their collecting goals can be super fulfilling, but also helps with the growth of the hobby, right? So I think that, when we think about it, you have to, remember that the experiences of buying and selling and trading, some of those are far more valuable than the actual like items that you'll keep in your collection, because whoa, that is sick. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Holy cats. That's so, wow, that one's really cool too. Holy crap. There are such cool cards in this set. So what I was saying, guys, is that, you have to remember that building that community is far more important, right? All right, guys, here we go with some Pokemon. Like, what you really have to remember, is that the friendships you build and the relationships you cultivate through being, involved in whatever hobby it is, whether it's magic or Pokemon or video games or what have you, are incredibly important. And part of cultivating that, as I struggle to open this, is being a seller. And I think it's really important. Like, you can be super strategic. You can really think critically about what it is you want to collect, create some long-term goals for yourself. Green code card, sorry guys. But I think, just really thinking about, hey, what, now that, the barrier to entry on selling is so low, what is it in my collection that I truly want to keep forever? What are some of the things that I could potentially consolidate down? Maybe you've got a small subset of a set of like hollows or something like that, and you say, hey, maybe I could, trade these 3 to someone who's looking to complete the whole set, and I can get, one item that I really, really enjoy, So I think it's important to, it's a great non-hollow rare. I mean, I love evolutions, so it's pretty sweet, but no luck there. I think it's important to remember that kind of lower barrier to entry on selling allows you to, have the ability to over time, focus in on what you really love, So I want you guys to remember that, is that, selling can be a really important part of, achieving your collecting goals, but also creating community. So I think at the end of the day, what I really want to say is that, possessions are fleeting, but the relationships are forever. And remember why you collect. Remember, enjoy it, right? Do enjoy it. Like, this common card is a beautiful artwork, like, just absolutely, like, brings joy, brings, happiness, it's aesthetically pleasing, all those things. But, ooh, nice pull, look at that, the Sylveon. Texture on these is amazing, right? So enjoying stuff like this, right? Enjoying the card itself, but also remembering that, the relationships matter more. I've had such a blessing to be able to meet the coolest people because of this hobby, right? Because of, starting this page and starting this YouTube channel and, putting myself out there. Those are more valuable, I think, than anything in my collection, right? Like, I love all the things I have, but at the end of the day, if, losing stuff like this in the background meant keeping my relationships, another Sylveon, look at that, I got both. So if, losing this stuff meant keeping the relationships that I've built in this hobby, I'd give them up in a second. I think what I'm trying to say is, I could never buy another item and I would be totally happy and totally content, with where I sit in this hobby, because I get to have the amazing, sneak attack or something in there. I get to have these amazing relationships, right? So I'm so grateful for this hobby, and I'm so grateful for the people in it, and I would never want to give those relationships up. All right, guys, let's see what we hit. Ooh, Flareon. I freaking love these full arts. I mean, they're just incredible. They're absolutely amazing. So yeah, guys, I think it's, it's hard because you want to always remember, why you collect. Well, I collect because I love Pokemon. I collect because, the nostalgia, it reminds me of my childhood. It brings me some joy that I, don't get to have, from other places in life, right? It kind of brings you back to that simplistic childhood. But also the important part is the relationships. And in that, comes being a good steward of the hobby and knowing that, what? Guys, I'm sorry. but look at this freaking Leafeon. It's so cool. So, okay, this is a great example. So this just makes me think of like the fall and being in the woods and growing up, you know, hunting with my dad who's no longer with us. Like there's something really cool about this card that brings a unique, like nostalgic, you know, pull to me, right? That brings me some, you know, unique level of joy. Absolutely incredible. Look at that thing. That is so cool. As I spill my penny sleeves everywhere, guys, I'm all over the place. We're just getting back into the groove of things here, but my gosh, look at that. Look at that. So I know this has been a bit of a stream of consciousness, guys, but I do want to impress upon you, you know, why I collect, but also why I sell. In that it's important to remember that, you know, selling is a natural part of growing your collection, and just to be a good steward, right? To be a good steward of the hobby, to be fair, to be kind, don't shill, don't gouge people, you know, give people good deals and, you know, allow them to reach their goals and, you know, progress their collections as well. Heck yes, the Espion. Love that. Wow. So, guys, that's this week's Market Monday. Just wanted to give you guys a, you know, thoughts around, you know, why I collect. You know, I've been thinking about it a lot because there's been so much focus on the money in this hobby that sometimes I think people forget. You know, it's not just about chasing dollar signs. It's not just about, you know, dopamine hits of opening packs. It's about, you know, the true relationships you can cultivate through this hobby. And as a part of that, you know, being a good seller, and being okay with selling as a part of, you know, your collecting journey, and knowing that every, you know, item that you buy and sell, much more important behind that is the relationship you have. So, you know, I had a scenario where I had a couple, you know, a 3 set of the same pack, and I traded 2 of them to get an art set, and then I sold those packs, and through that, you know, created these relationships that have been super long lasting, like just by a simple transaction and being kind and good to people and keeping that relationship going. So guys, I encourage you to always keep in mind, you know, why you're collecting, to, you know, collect what you love, but do it intelligently. And as you sell and transact in this hobby, just be a great steward of the hobby so that, you know, Pokemon lasts a long, long time. And as new people come into it, you know, they are able to have some of the same joy that you had and not, you know, get burnt or have a bad taste in their mouth right off the bat from someone gouging them. So that's all I've got for you guys. Check out this freaking amazing Leafeon. Hope you enjoyed today's Market Monday. We'll have some more whiteboard videos in the future, but just wanted to show you, hey, you can really collect what you love. You know, there's some amazing artworks out there across some amazing different hobbies. And just remember at the end of the day why you collect, and, you know, why you might want to sell as a part of that, but do it in a way that is a good way to move the hobby forward, and to always keep in mind, you know, why you're doing it and what, you know, the hobby truly means to you, and what your goals are, and just keep that in the forefront. So collect what you love, but collect intelligently. Till next time, I'm Connor, Rock Pokemon. See ya.